Right, so I have my APC. This is a 1500 VA. I think 1500 watt also UPS. You can see here I've glued a it's like a wattage monitor just to see how much power my desktop pulls directly from the UPS and only the computer. So I just, I don't care about the monitor and stuff, but back when I had a 7900X overclocked and two 1080 Ti's, this thing was pulling around like 1,000 watts of power. Well, when it was overclocked and I was benchmarking, 1,000, 1,100. But the other day we had some serious windstorms. We had gust up to 93 miles per hour. And the lights started going out, coming back on, going out, coming back on, flickering, and all the UPSs in the house, I have like 7, beep, they were going off. But I was sitting at my computer in my bedroom, and every time the power went out, this thing turned off. I didn't realize it till afterwards because it was going click, 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 click. Anyway, the power would come back on, it would come back on, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Is it this thing that's making it like turn off, or what's going on? And what I come to find out was the actual battery in the backup UPS, the battery itself had died. So I don't think the actual UPS is dead. I'm not sure. It seems to be working fine when it's plugged in, the computer's plugged into it. The battery's for sure dead though. So it's clicking on, clicking off, clicking on, and there's a battery light here in the front, and it's flashing red. I took that to mean that it needs a new battery, and I think this thing's like 5 years old. So what we got here is a replacement. And I've never replaced a battery. Particularly, this unit is super hardcore, like industrial strength. This is not like your $100 UPS here. It's good to see. I like that molded, custom molded foam. And this thing is heavy, dude. It's like 30 pounds. So, I guess it's upside down actually. Whatever. There's a sticker on here, something about recycling. There it is. I don't know why that was coming off. What does it say? It says sealed, non-spillable lead acid battery must be recycled. Refer to owner's manual. Anyway, this is UP. Non-spillable, but I see some moisture on here. Why don't you come on here and take a look? Let's see if we can move this camera. Do you guys see that? It has no smell to it. I almost want to taste it. It looks like, did it seep out? We're gonna crack this open. Okay, so it looks like I can just set this up out of the way. What do we got here? We got two screws. I have my toolkit over there for my computer parts, but this is like a big industrial screw. So what we'll do is we'll take this off, and I just want to, before I go through this hassle, you know, the documentation on, do you need 2 of these cells? Just one? I think it's just one, judging by the weight of my UPS and the battery. Okay, and that's what that sticker's for. That sticker on the bottom, which of this one came off probably because it got juice on it, is to pull this bad boy out. PB means lead. So, oh, there we go. And nice finger grooves. Okay, they really tried to copy it. You know, I might just return this and buy the brand name. You know, is it worth saving $40? I don't know what fell, but that's fine. Okay. I need to pull this out a little more. Okay, so there is the connector. And I think I just pull it. Be careful not to touch any wires. And there we go. There we go. There's the old battery. So if we check, yep, same connectors. Looks like there's a little bit of, tiny bit of corrosion on these. These are zinc coated, so they're gold colored. These are just silver. Whew, that dust. So, the broken battery and the dead battery. You know, yeah, so there's a, we'll take a look here. So inside here, so the lid has got the front panel PCB this is connected to, and the ribbon wire stays connected. So all you got to do is set it back here, and then I can lift this up and you guys can see there's the PCB up there, and then behind this metal plate is some heavy, probably capacitors and such that, you know, part that deal with the switching of the power from you know, the outlet to the battery, and the capacitors probably stay pretty charged so that when it flips over, it's so instantaneous that it's probably taking power from both. And then I'm just guessing at this point, when the power goes out on the AC side, those capacitors are all charged up, and it says pull from the battery, and there's a bank of power to keep it going without it flipping out or losing any voltage. So, you know, literally to replace it, we would plug it in, slide it in, put the cover on, 2 screws back on, and click this front faceplate on. This is toolless. That's it. That's literally all there is to it. This is such a hassle, you know. Doing things right can be such a hassle. But I just don't, I mean, really, the acid that leaks out of batteries can be extremely corrosive to metal. This thing's all lined with metal. Obviously, there's like a chamber that separates the PCB and the electronics from the battery itself, but like, I don't know. This thing could get hot. Juice could start leaking everywhere. It would get on the floor. It's just awful. So there is a fair amount of dust in here. You guys can see that on the paper towel. That's just a little area. So I had the air cleaner, and I'm probably going to take it down to the garage. There, right here, next to the wattage monitor, is a fan intake. It blows cool air in. On the other side is a fan intake, and then it exhausts, I believe, through the back. Oh, no. This is the fan intake, and this is the exhaust port. Anyway, I need to take it downstairs and just stick this in there and just blow as much dust out as I can get. So, fortunately, that's going to be it for right this moment. I will probably pick this video right back up when a non-leaking replacement comes back in. Alright, well, until I get that video, I'll be right back. Okay, so dealing with Amazon, I talked to them about the leaking battery. Unfortunately, with batteries, with Amazon, there's like a no return policy, which is kind of messed up. I mean, anyway, so I ended up calling them, and they said, "Oh, well, we'll send you a new battery." And so what I decided to do was, I mean, they're gonna send out a new battery. I actually think that this battery is perfectly fine. There was the plastic strip that covers the caps, where the water and the acids added to the battery, much like a car battery, has those plastic caps on where you can top the water back off with distilled water. So what I decided to do, instead of just making this waste, I ended up, you can see in the light there, I ended up epoxying. So I mixed a 2-part epoxy. I cleaned it up. I then scuffed it up, and the 2 fill port with the fill port covers, because these are 2 cells. So these connectors were taped on. I took them off. They actually expose copper contacts that are bolted together. The battery's bolted together in parallel. Yeah, I think it's parallel. Anyway, so I took those off. I scuffed it up, and because it's very clearly delineated where the seal is and where it was leaking from, and it won't leak if it's actually sealed up properly. So I epoxied over it, and that should be totally fine. I mean, this thing sits underneath my desk. The only issue would be, I mean, if any battery gets hot, any battery can explode. I don't think this one's going to get hot or explode. I think even a brand new battery that wasn't leaking, if it got super hot, and I mean, there's the chance of explosion with any batteries. So I don't think I'm taking an unnecessary risk with the epoxy fix. So let's slap it back in. So I did end up taking this thing out to the hallway and blowing it out. There wasn't that much dust in it. Really just where the vents and the fan was. So there's really nothing to this. So don't, just because you're UPS, you don't have to go buy a new one every time. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is set up the camera here, and you guys can watch me install this. This literally should take like 10 seconds. So what we have here is, this is the male connector, and this is the female connector, and we're just gonna clip those red to red, black to black, shove it in there, and that's literally it. So just gotta have this thing in here like this. Don't touch the damn wires. And you can't really get it backwards because the connector won't clip in properly. I'm always scared when I connect the battery because I feel like it might explode. Anyway, there's actually a disconnection port on the back here. You unplug that disconnection port and it keeps all power cut off. We're gonna push her in. This is the tag to pull it back out. So I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. I really don't know if it's the battery that's dead or the UPS is completely dead. I'm hoping it's just the battery that died. That surges that came through the other night could have fried the UPS, but better a $500 UPS than a, $3,000 computer. Boom. So we're gonna plug this back in here. Now we're gonna plug it in. Status. Yeah, 0 load. 5-hour runtime. Just the unit itself will last 5 hours with literally nothing on it. Battery temperature 123 volts, 60 hertz. Self-test passed. Test and diagnostics. Oh, self-test only available if, okay. Calibration test. If online. Okay, so I think I have to have something plugged into it. Let's plug the laptop into it and let's see what happens. Okay, now we're okay, no, I think these tests are for actually using it with the application. Yeah, only if online. Okay. It seems to work fine here. Battery escape. Battery's 100%, so they didn't lie about that. It showed up with 100% battery. So now what we're gonna do is keep the laptop plugged in. We're gonna unplug it. Uh-oh. That's not good. Says there's no load. There should be a load. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to pause it and then come back and see what I can figure out here. Okay, so it wasn't actually fully powered on. It still has a screen the screen and everything works regardless if it's plugged in or not, because it runs off the battery. So now it's showing 13% load, battery's at 79%, and it's charging, which is good. And it's running through its testing, so this is fantastic. It means it was the battery that was dead, and now it's good. So swapping out UPS battery and refurbishing is as easy as ordering a replacement, unplugging it, plugging it back in, and then taking your old battery to be recycled. So maybe this helps somebody out, maybe not. Maybe it's just entertainment, but yep, that's all we got. All right. Thank you for watching.